If we had a burping contest, I would probably come in like third place. I know there's people who burp professionally, and I like to say that I have been training since I was 3 years old. I'm just kidding. To be a burp champion. Take me seriously. Hello again, you beautiful, glitter covered, hopeful, queer romantics and singles out there. Welcome back to Jeremy Spreads It, the podcast where in season two, I will be turning awkward queer dating, love, and relationships into an art form, or at least try to. I'm your host, Jeremy Spreadums, professional flirt, enthusiastic writer, and someone who absolutely believes that making a good first impression is important, especially on a first date. So, congratulations, you've made it to part three of episode four, the first date, making an impression. And today's hot topic is self representation. Serve that first date look, honey, because we're not out here dressing like extras in a zombie apocalypse scene, unless if you're going to like a Halloween date. We're here to slay, honey. So, let's get things started on how to make a good first impression on that first date. Here we go. All right, so you've picked a perfect date spot. Your conversation topics are lined up like the main cast of the L word: hot, diverse, and just a little chaotic. But the next step, you have to present your glorious queer self to the world and to your first date. It's not just an Instagram posting opportunity. Now, don't panic. This is not a makeover montage from Clueless. You don't need a stylist, a personal shopper, or a closet that looks like Billy Porter and JVN got drunk and decorated. But, honey, you do need to try. Okay, like at least wash your hair, wash your underarms, slap on something that says, I'm put together enough to deserve your time and space. Okay, so let's go over the bare minimum that's actually kind of maximum. The basics. Again, showering before your first date. Yes, you have heard me. I don't care if you are a natural type and love the smell of the human body after 3 days of no showering. Clean is sexy for the first date. I you can trash me all you want, but honestly, I love a natural body smell. But if it's gonna be on a first date, I gotta be attracted to at least the clean smell of you. I can get used to the dirty smell after that. No shame in that. Okay, next, grooming. Whatever this means for you, it could be your beard, your brows, hair, nails, chest, ass, legs, toes. Oh, we're gonna break into a musical number. Okay, not really. Or groom that weird spot behind your ear. You know the spot. Next, fragrance. A gentle spritz or a light layer of body lotion, it will do wonders, okay? You don't need to dive into a fog machine or deep dive into a lotion pool. Let it be enough for them to lean in and not lean back. And please, please, please do a breath check and complete a round of proper oral hygiene before you go on that first date. Okay? Don't let your peppermint mocha betray you with dragon breath halfway through a flirty story. Okay? Oral hygiene is a necessity, baby. Okay, let's move on. What to wear on your first date? It's not a red carpet, but it also isn't a pajama party day either. You don't have to dress like a Vogue cover model, but you do want to dress like someone who respects the date, the effort, and themselves. Think hot but approachable meets this is actually how I dress, bitch. So combine it together and wear something that makes you feel confident, and everything else is going to flow. If you're crop top queen, work that shit. If you're more of a mask with a side of cozy flannel, own that. If you're a cottage core witch in full overalls and moon jewelry, put a spell on them, baby, and let the clothes serve your personality. In case you do have crazy outfits, maybe serve the full mesh bodysuit or the leather harness for date number two, unless if you're meeting at a fetish nightclub, in which case, go on with your bad self. Okay, next. Serving the best version of you on a first date does not mean creating an entirely new character that you created for a dating experience. Because let's get real, self representation does not mean self reinvention. Okay? You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not on a first date. This is your chance to show up as your shiniest, most polished, most delightfully dateable self. Even if you got a dark and twisted personality, give them shiny and polished, dark and twisty. Okay? Think of it like this. You dress up for brunch, you get very glam for pride, you put in at least 3 to 5 outfit changes before going to a queer wedding. So, why would a first date, aka the potential beginning of a hot ass love story, deserve anything less? Now, we're rounding up to the end of the episode, and I wanted to just give you some quick highlights to take away from this episode. Okay, always dress for the location of your first date. Don't show up in heels to a hiking trail unless if you're trying to go viral. And if you are, please just have a safety crew with you. Next, pick something you can move in, emotionally and physically. If you're sweating through your skin tight outfit or are unable to go to the bathroom because you need help getting undressed, that's a possible sign. Last, confidence is your best accessory, but deodorant and good oral hygiene are close seconds. At the end of the day, how you show up to a first date is a part of the story you're living. It says, hey, I care. I'm here. I put in the effort because this moment matters. So, without being said, before you go on a first date, shower, sparkle, spritz, and serve. Be the version of you that walks into that date with confidence, some charm, and just enough sass to keep them wanting more. And remember, think of the first date like your teaser trailer. We want the audience, aka your date, begging for the full feature film. And for those who have seen my films, you know what I'm talking about, okay? That's all for part 3 of episode 4, the first date, making an impression. Coming up next, the last part of episode 4. Part 4, gifts and acts of kindness, aka should you bring flowers, a bottle of wine, or just your sparkling personality? Until then, stay sexy, stay sharp, and always spread queer information fiercely and wisely. Bye, Felicia.